It's cold. What's up? Welcome to vlog number 3. Today I'm going to be talking all about just the fun stuff I've gotten to do since I've gotten here to England. I don't even know where to begin. I got to go to a real life castle. I rode a train for like the second time ever in my life. I met a deer. I got to do cool magic for some cool English people at a pub. And I got to see the land speed world record holding machine called the Thrust SSC at a museum here called the Museum of Transport. I'll talk about all that right now. Warwick Castle. Warwick Castle was beginning to be built in the 10th century and is now a humongous castle where many people have lived. There was a huge collection of armor, swords, guns. There was a Colt pistol which was given to one of the owners of the castle by Colt himself. One of the many cool things they have at Warwick Castle is a bird display. I got to meet a real life bald eagle. Freedom! I've never even met a bald eagle in the United States. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the bald eagle fly, but we did get to see an owl display where they had 2 different owls, a barn owl and one other I cannot remember the name of, but they would swoop in from this tree and eat a piece of meat on the ground from about, I would say, 100 or 200 meters away. It was absolutely incredible and beautiful to see these birds flying free around the grounds of the castle. We also got to see the world's largest trebuchet, which is basically a humongous rock-throwing, big object-throwing device. It was awesome. However, they were not shooting off the trebuchet this time because last time they shot this flaming fireball from the trebuchet, they caught the boathouse on fire and it's currently under construction. Next, I got to meet a real-life deer. It came up within 5 feet of me at this place called Bradgate Park, where a bunch of deer just roam the area and they don't care to come up close to you because they're used to people, and when they want to go off on their own they just cross this stream which is prohibited to visitors of the park. They can be on their own. In Bradgate Park there's also this ruin of a house that used to be there where a family lived, and throughout the park you'll also see these big towers which were watchtowers for enemies who may be coming to attack, which was really cool. Obviously we don't get to see anything like that in the United States. Cool thing number 3, got to ride a train. Not much to say about the train other than I rode it and it was really cool because we don't often ride trains in the US, at least in Kentucky, so that was fun. Just normal for everyone who lives here, but I was having a blast. Number 4, magic. I got to do magic for some cool people at a pub. They really enjoyed it. It started out with me just doing some tricks for Ollie and Becky and their friends, and then some other people walked over and wanted to see what was going on. And then more and more people. We had a group of maybe 8, 10, 12 people at one point. It was a lot of fun. Number 5. I've read about this vehicle since I was a kid. It's been in Guinness World Records forever, and I never really thought that I would have the opportunity to see it in real life. It's called the Thrust SSC. It holds the land speed world record of 763 miles an hour. For those who don't know, that is faster than the speed of sound. Wrap your brain around that. A vehicle traveling on land faster than the speed of sound, 763 miles an hour, that is quite the feat of engineering. Essentially, the Thrust SSC is 2 humongous jet engines strapped to a missile, and they put a man inside there and said, go as fast as you can, and he did. The Thrust SSC is held at a place called the Coventry Transport Museum, where the history of transportation is explored from bicycles to motorcycles to jet cars, just like the Thrust SSC. And it goes from about early 1800s on through today. There's a heavy concentration on the local economy, which is the Jaguar brand and the Land Rover brand, because the Jaguar and Land Rover headquarters is not too far from the Coventry Transport Museum. Tiny side note, something else fun we did that is related to cars is go to a place called Donington Park. It's a former F1 track and they also do some motorcycle racing. We just went to see a general test session of some race cars, which was super fun. Here is a clip. Yeah. As I've said in a previous vlog, Becky is not super into cars, so I was very glad that she was able to take me and bear the cold to see a couple race cars that she didn't care at all about. But nevertheless, we had fun and enjoyed it. Next, I'll be discussing differences between the US and England, things like food, the way we talk, things you may think would be the same in the US and England, but in fact they're not. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video.
Freedom! And the land of the lost, and the home of the how's it go?